with the
top 25 NFL
Yep.
of the decade or the
2000s.
2000s.
So
first 5 out. We'll just go quick over them just so we can go over them. T.O., Marvin Harrison, Orlando Pace, Larry Fitz, and Jonathan
Ogden.
Ogden. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I know who that is.
Terrell Owens. Seattle
Terrell
Seahawks
Owens.
finest.
Okay, no. T.O.,
Played for like a year.
I think if he won a Super Bowl, he would probably be in it.
Yeah.
He was such a clown. He was so fun to watch. Marvin
Played
Harrison
hard.
is someone we talked about, I think, on the top 100. Him and Reggie Wayne. We were I don't know how they're both not in. Orlando Pace, I do know the name. He was a big...
offensive tackle.
yeah, where did he play, though?
The Rams.
Was it the Rams?
Pretty
That sounds
sure.
right. He was big. Larry Fitzgerald actually kind of bugs me. He's off this list. He should be
surprises
on it.
me.
He literally, I want to say, had more tackles than dropped passes
It could
in his
be.
career or something.
Yeah.
He's one of the best wide receivers ever. I think he should be on this list. Jonathan Ogden, I do recognize that
I think he was on the
name.
Ravens,
Yeah.
but
With Jamal Lewis, yeah, I think so. Again, offensive linemen don't get the love. All right,
Derek
25.
Brooks.
Derek Brooks should be on it. He was so good. He was so influential on their Super Bowl winning team, I believe.
Mhm.
I don't know if he actually did he win the Super Bowl
that's
with
what
them?
I was just looking. I was like,
I felt like
could've
he won.
sworn he
I
did.
felt like he won the Super Bowl with them. Still tied for second in NFL history and added a pick 6 in Super Bowl. Yeah, so I thought he won one.
huh? Well, yeah.
Maybe not, but I could have sworn he did with Gruden. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was very good. I know that. Tony Gonzalez, I think he should be higher.
I was gonna say,
I don't
that's
even
kinda-
know who
Well,
Tight
Gronkowski and Kelsey are definitely
tight
higher.
end wise, Antonio Gates, but I think Gonzalez, that's a little disrespectful. He's arguably the best tight end of all time. I mean, I know there's Gronkowski and
Yeah.
Kelsey, and
He's in the conversation. though,
he's
at least.
definitely a top 5, and he should be higher than that. Joe Thomas should be higher.
So 10,000 consecutive saps. That's insane.
Yeah,
Nobody's doing that.
Literally, no
nowadays.
one's doing that again. Everyone
No.
gets injured off of a fly. Warren Sapp, again, massive. I want to say he was.
I thought
a part
they
of
won
the-
it too. Yeah.
He had to have. They must not just put the accolades on here because I swear, when was Tampa? I'm just gonna look up.
Yeah. Tampa Bay.
You got it.
Super Bowl.
Because he played in the 2000s. When was?
2003.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So Derek Brooks, he won Defensive Player of the Year in 2002.
He was definitely. He was.
And they
he
didn't.
had
They
to have
didn't
been
go
on
to
there.
the Super Bowl beforehand. Did you see that? They went to the Super Bowl beforehand. I would say that, and I would say Warren Sapp also did because they were monsters on those teams.
Yeah.
2003 was he on there?
Yeah.
Okay, so he did win it, and then I would say Warren Sapp did too. So that's kind of weird that.
I don't know why that didn't make the list.
Yeah, that's kind of
but-
funny that they don't put that on there. But anyway, 21 Marshall Falk, again one of the last non-quarterbacks to win MVP. We talked about that before.
Mhm.
Yeah, just a beast. I think he was on the
Oh,
teams
that's
that went to
interesting.
the
Super Bowl.
to the Super Bowl, and he had those receiving and rushing yards.
Yeah, he has 6 seasons with
Oh,
at
yeah.
least 500 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards.
Yeah, you don't see a lot. I mean,
Christian
McCaffrey,
McCaffrey.
might get it. I don't know what his total is, but yeah.
LT. Why would they put him on the Jets?
I was about
I
to
was
say,
like, what are
they
you
hate me.
guys
I hate the
doing?
fact that you put him in a Jets uniform.
Yeah.
He should be in a Chargers uniform. Again,
Ay, ay,
one of the
ay.
last. I think he was the last non-quarterback to
He
win
could
MVP.
have been.
No, Adrian Peterson was.
Yes.
Yeah, he was unreal on the Chargers.
He was so good.
So good. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
Yeah.
I remember mimiking his little. He'd flick his hand or whatever. He'd do like this.
Yeah.
And he'd flick his hand and flip the ball.
so freaking good.
He was so fast, so good on that team.
Michael Strahan.
Strahan, one of the coolest stories is I believe he said he wanted to retire before the Super Bowl. They beat the Giants or the undefeated Patriots.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to retire, I'm done. And then it was like, we're going to be bad this year. Everyone expected us to be whatever, blah, blah. No one expected us to do what we did. And he was like, I'm just going to come back one more year, blah, blah. And then he was kind of like, it'll be my going away party. And then they won the Super Bowl. He was really good.
Yeah, he has the most sacks ever tied for
Yeah.
a single season with 22 and a half.
Yeah, he was
So-
really good. Defense Player of the Year, 7-time Pro Bowler. He deserves to be on it. There's AP.
Yep.
I'm going to say
last
2012.
non-QB MVP.
Woo! Look at me go. We did a quiz on it. Tearing an ACL and then coming back and winning ACL and MCL.
Also,
Holy
Seahawks
moly.
great right here.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, one touchdown, I think.
He was, I don't want to call him a letdown, but he was on pace. I mean, obviously he got injured, but he was on pace to like break every
Everything.
record, and he obviously slowed down. But I mean, when you look at his season, that 100-yard performance over first six games, he launched an run of 8 consecutive 100-yard games, 2 of which eclipsed 200 yards en route to a 2,097-yard campaign. Only Eric Dickerson has more.
And he actually did break the record, but there was a penalty called back that lost the yardage.
Yep, I saw that.
That was
So,
very tough.
you know, it's tough because people touted him to be like the greatest running back ever, and with good reason. He was so good at Oklahoma. But yeah, a superstar, great player. 17.
Brett Favre.
At least they put him in they should put him in a Vikings uniform.
Seriously.
Gunslinger. That's like the first word I think of. Dude could rip a football.
Oh, for sure.
And then obviously had some off the field issues later in his career, but
Interesting guy.
yeah, I think he won one Super Bowl, maybe two.
I think he just
I know he
won
has the
one.
one where he's running with his helmet, like the infamous video. I've seen it.
Yeah.
6-time Pro
Troy
Bowler.
Polamalu.
He's
Interesting.
104 wins for the decade of 2010. I mean, he was unreal, and you know, he just always went for it. He never die type of guy. 16 Troy Polamalu, so fun to watch, especially in the hair commercials now too.
What a guy.
So good. Time to snap so well. So fun to watch.
Yeah, unfortunately was in the Super Bowl when the Seahawks lost, so kind of a little thorn in our side,
I don't
but
really
you know,
care, to be honest.
cheaters.
He
still hate Roethlisberger.
they didn't cheat. They just the refs
Paid off the
sucked.
refs.
Well, they didn't pay him off. It was never proven. The refs just said sorry, but it was never proven.
Sure.
Well, that's fine. So good. Him and probably Ed Reed are probably the two best safeties ever. I mean, there's probably some like really old school guy that I've never heard of, but
Yeah.
currently that I can think of, those are probably the two best.
Drew
Ooh,
Brees.
That's a little low.
I'm surprised it's
Again,
15.
we've kind of talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Statistically wise, Drew Brees is in the conversation of best ever.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, he only has one Super Bowl, but he deserves to be higher. I mean, he was drafted by the Chargers, traded. Everyone said, "Oh, he's only 5'9", he's too small, he can't do it." Blah 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 blah. Hey, he did everything, and
Yeah,
more.
and then some.
So I would say he should be higher. I don't know who's going to be higher. Well, he should be higher than Travis Kelce, in my opinion. Kelce,
Just has Super Bowls.
He's very no. He don't. I don't want to say he just has Super
Well, I
Bowls.
mean, that's
correct me.
what-
He also has Taylor Swift.
That helps.
Kelce, and it's hard because I don't know who Tony Gonzalez's quarterback was when he was in Kansas City with the Falcons. Obviously, Matt Ryan, very good quarterback.
For the most part.
Travis Kelce without Mahomes is nowhere near this level, and obviously,
No.
again, it's not an individual thing. You have to have help, but I do find that to be a very big key to his success.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Again, Tony Gonzalez, I could not tell you who the quarterback was in Kansas City at that time.
All I can think is Chad Heaney, but I don't think that was his quarterback.
It might have been at one
could have
point,
been
though.
older,
But I think Drew Brees is definitely a better player in the 2000s than Kelce. I think Kelsey's a superstar. He's probably going to go down as one of the best tight ends. I still think Tony Gonzalez is probably a better tight end.
I do too.
Blocking wise, just kind of overall tight end play. Obviously, I think the tight end position has changed.
Oh, it's way different.
It's much more of a wide receiver role. But I'm okay. I'm not like upset about it, but I think you could flip him.
I think Rob Gronkowski is higher than Travis Kelce.
He should
so
be.
I think it's a good.
And again,
good
I
pick.
think he benefited from playing with Tom Brady. I mean, that massively helps.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to put yourself in the right situation to win.
Have you seen the clip of when he got traded to the Lions?
Oh, and he retired.
And he's like, "Oh, I retired."
yeah, he was
That's
done.
so funny.
Yeah, and then
He's like-
2 months later,
Yeah.
Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay. And he's like, "Oh, you heard you retired. You want
Yeah.
to come play?" He's like, "If only I can miss the first 4 weeks, and then
Yeah.
I'm in." Yeah, he's a monster. And I remember when it was him and tough subject, Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
Those two lined up again. I was like,
What are
good
you gonna
luck.
do?
And you have, I think
Yeah.
they still had Amendola
Oh, they can probably Edelman when
and
he was
maybe
younger.
Edelman. Yeah. And so it was like, good luck. Like, good luck. You have like 2 6'6" guys running at you and some like little midgets running.
Yeah.
Meow. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
good luck. And Tom
No
Brady.
chance. And then probably just a running back that's going to catch passes in the
Yeah,
backfield.
literally.
So irritating.
Charles Woodson, best cornerback maybe ever. Pretty close. I know Darrell
Definitely up
Revis
there.
is going to be up there. Those are probably the two best, so I'm okay with them probably both being near each other. If they're too far away, then I'm not going to be happy. But he was so good.
Ed Reed.
Again, like I said earlier, him and Polamalu, both, it was so fun. Same division, defensive-minded teams for a long time, just hard-nosed, like didn't take anything. He was very good. And I know Ray Lewis won the Super Bowl on his exit. I don't know if he was
Ed Reed
the
kept
same
playing
way.
because he went to the Jets.
Okay, that's
after
right.
That.
Really good. There he is. So I'm okay with it. Darrell
Darrell
Revis being
Revis.
close to
Revis Island.
yeah. He would for like whatever it was, 4 or 5 years. You could he literally
Yeah.
closed down half
Yeah.
of the field. He was like, "Don't throw to me. I will get the ball."
Yeah.
He was so
He
so
was
good, and it sucks that he played for
amazing.
the Jets at that time because never even like
But
got to the
Bumble Mark
playoffs.
Sanchez.
Yeah, never got to the playoffs or anything. Rodgers.
I feel like it's okay. Just because
Yeah,
the
but
latter
is
half of his
Rodgers-
career
is
has been kind of
Rodgers-
rough.
I mean, I know Brett Favre played in the 90s a little bit. Is Rodgers better than Brett Favre? Is he better than Drew Brees?
I don't think he's better than Drew Brees.
Whoa, yeah,
but
hold up. I don't think he's
that's
better
my
than Drew Brees at
personal
all.
opinion.
No, I would agree with that. I don't think he's better than Drew Brees. I wouldn't say he's better than Drew Brees, but I'm just going to move on because I don't have much to say. Ray
There he
Lewis,
is.
I think, is the
Yeah.
scariest football player of all time.
Yeah.
And I think it's the
With his face mask and everything.
yeah, and the black triangle that goes down on him. And then he had the do rag or whatever that.
Oh,
tight,
yeah.
Oh, he was just a scary dude. Like you just knew when he was on the field, he's like, I mean business.
Yeah.
I think he was the best linebacker in the 2000s.
It's kind of interesting with him. He was actually drafted by the Browns
Mhm.
right before they went to Baltimore. Like he was drafted by the Browns, and the Browns technically moved to the Ravens to become the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh.
And so the Browns that are existing now aren't really the real Browns. The real Browns are the Baltimore Ravens.
So he was drafted by the Ravens, but not really.
Yeah, but not
Interesting.
kind of interesting.
Yeah, he again was, I believe. Look at that, only player with 40 sacks and 30 interceptions since sacks became official.
Yeah.
It's insane. And he ended on a high. I believe he retired right after the Super Bowl. The infamous half of the stadium lights
Yeah.
out.
J.J. Watt higher?
He's again. We kind of talked about it in the basketball one with Anthony Davis and Kawhi
Just
Leonard
injuries.
injured. Just so. I mean, I swer it was like every down injured, and it's like again when healthy he might
Yeah.
be. The
I think he
best.
also is tied with 22.5 sacks. I wouldn't
only
be
player with
surprised.
20 plus sacks and
Oh,
multiple
multiple. That's
seasons.
where. Okay, yeah.
He had
I thought
20
he
and a
got
half,
close.
so he's a little bit behind. He was insane, but I don't know if I'd put him that high. I think there's a couple. I think there's. I
Yeah.
mean, if I go through this, like I think Ray Lewis, I think Drew Brees had more of an impact. I probably would say Rob Gronkowski. There's a couple of them. I would probably put him closer into the teens.
I feel like 10 is going to be his max.
Yeah, maybe. I might even be like 13, 10, 12, somewhere in there. Anyway, Calvin Johnson. Dude got triple teamed and they still threw him the ball. That's all you
Still
need to
caught
know.
it.
That's it. That's it. I'm moving on. That's all.
He was wild.
Randy Moss, I agree. Randy Moss, in my opinion, almost ruined his career moving to the Raiders.
Yeah.
I
Got
don't
close.
think he was. I think he was really good for Minnesota. I don't think he was gonna be like the greatest that he is. I think he was so good, but I think moving to the Patriots, obviously,
Just solidified
and
his Hall of Fame
and
career.
I don't even think he still won a Super Bowl though. He went to it with them, but I'm pretty sure he did not get one because I don't think he was never. Minnesota was never
Yeah.
that good, and I don't think the Raiders were ever that
No.
good. I think he went and he lost.
Because they definitely lost in 2007.
Yeah, it was a 7-8 season with
Yeah.
against the Giants. I don't think he has a Super Bowl, which might be one of the few things holding him back. Obviously, Calvin Johnson doesn't either. He never even made the playoffs, I don't think. I don't believe he has a Super
Yeah, he
Bowl.
never won.
Yep. Which might hold him back. Number 4, Peyton Manning. You said top 3.
I was thinking top 3. I was thinking it was going to be him, Mahomes, and Brady.
So we're obviously Brady's going to be 1.
Mahomes is in there.
Mahomes has to be up there.
Oh, I just saw who it is. I'm
Oh, yeah.
surprised I
I'm,
didn't think about
I'm
that.
okay with it.
Yeah.
I honestly think the next person should be higher than Mahomes. That
Aaron
might be a hot
Donald.
topic. Aaron Donald is the best defensive player, arguably, ever. And that's saying like a lot. 'cause
He was
there
a
have been some
wrecking
crazy-
ball.
He literally, and maybe it's because we saw him all the time
It was
with
awful.
the Seahawks.
So frustrating.
You could put 3 guys on him. And it was
Didn't
like
matter.
Calvin Johnson. You put 3 on him, and it was like, yeah, good luck. He's still going to push them
Yeah.
all over.
It did not matter.
Like he was, and I remember he has the interview with DK, and DK Metcalf is huge. I mean, he's like 6'6", 250.
Aaron
pure
Donald
muscle.
is a unit.
And he was literally like, "Hey, what do you rep like bench?" And DK's like, "Oh, what 200." I don't know what he says, something like that. And then Aaron, he goes, "Yeah, what do you do?" And Aaron Donald was like, "Yeah, like 450."
Yeah.
It's like, what? This dude's not human. I
Guy's
personally think
insane.
Aaron Donald had more of an impact and more of an influence than Patrick Mahomes. I think Aaron Donald is such a. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's such a better player, but I think he changed the game. He impacted a football game more because people are like, "Yeah, Mahomes is going to get the ball. He's going to throw it, whatever. Like you have to just figure it out." But Aaron Donald was literally like,
There was no
"Everyone
game
find
plan.
where Aaron Donald
Yeah.
is." Like you can't be like, "Oh, find where Patrick Mahomes is." Oh, he's under center. Oh, whoa. Like literally, it was like, where is Aaron Donald? Find him, and don't let him move.
He was crazy.
Mahomes, Brady. Obviously, the argument I think is going to get closer. I think
It is
Mahomes will
getting
win
closer.
a couple. I think he'll
Especially-
get to 5 is my
Yeah.
I think that's will be his max. Just because you're going to lose Kelsey, you're going to lose like players get old. It's like the Seahawks. You have the 1 year and then everyone
Yeah.
goes wrong. Tom Brady I think did such a good job because he obviously took pay cuts to build teams. Came
think-
back from his great knee injury too,
Yeah.
that crazy knee
I
injury.
think him winning with the Buccaneers is a bigger deal than it seems. Even though he went into a really, really good situation, to switch teams and still win and still be on that high of a level, I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think
it's-
it proved that Belichick was not the
That's what I
guy.
mean,
Yeah, I think he could do it with someone else. I just think, I think that you look at players nowadays, and again, I get it. I get cash in. I mean, if I had the
Yeah.
option, I would cash in too. But you look at it, and I go, Brady was almost never the highest paid quarterback ever. I don't think he was ever once in his career.
He was always winning.
And he always won because he built teams around him. So like it was like, oh, we lost Deion Branch, who was really good for us. Let's go trade for Randy Moss. Oh, that worked. Oh, we lost Wes Welker. Oh, well, Amendola or all these other guys that we can add made a big difference. And I think Mahomes, obviously the TV deals are still going up and up and up, and it's getting insane. But I think that you will see that just the Chiefs are going to fall off and they're not going to replace as well, which is going to really hinder Mahomes'.
I mean, they've already lost Tyreek Hill. That was a huge weapon.
massive
Which
loss. Well,
they
Tyreek
have
Hill
figured it
he's
out,
I think he's the odds-on favorite to win MVP this year
that's insane.
as a wide receiver.
That's so crazy.
So yeah, I mean, I think Mahomes is a superstar. I just don't think he'll catch Brady. I honestly, personally, I think the 7 Super Bowls is going to become like a is it Joe DiMaggio's hit
like
record type
56
thing?
game,
It's
yeah.
going to be one of those where no one's touching 7. I'm sorry. You know how hard
too competitive.
You know how hard it is to get to 1, and you're telling me this guy
Yeah.
went to like 10, I think, or something like that, and lost 3,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know exactly numbers, but that
He's
is the list.
7-time champion, and I think
Yeah.
he went to 9. 9
It's
or
something like
10.
that. It's close. He only lost like a maximum. I can think lost to the Giants twice, and
Oh, he lost to the Chiefs, didn't he? Once.
with the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's-
mean, I didn't even think about that. He went to 2 Super Bowls with a new team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
That's-
mean, they did really load the team up. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think there's a lot of movement on this list. I think Breeze is a little disrespected.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers and J.J. Watt might be a little bit too high up. I think everyone else is pretty close to where I'd probably put
Yeah,
him.
I
Maybe
agree.
maybe Brett Favre a little higher. I think LT should be higher. LT was so dominant for like 2 years. Another one that I'm not shocked that's not on there, but I think you could probably put in the conversation for maybe like top 30 is Sean Alexander. For the Seahawks, he did have a couple amazing years. Obviously, he had the record-breaking year, and
Yeah,
then
MVP
obviously
year.
he had like the best line ever created for the Super Bowl. But I think he's an argument. I think he's one of the better
Yeah.
running backs ever. But anyway, that is
Yeah.
the list.
That's the top 25 of the NFL of the 2000s.
Woo!
Thanks for listening to the Kind of Athletic podcast. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials and come back next week for next week's episodes.